Greetings world, 'tis I, Andru, the bearded lady from Hairy Game Lords, and for Zatu Games, I'm going to review for you this Ticket to Ride London from Days of Wonder. Find out what I thought. Before you hear what's within here, let's go over to the table and check out how we play this.
London. This game is set up for 2 players. So, as you can see, it looks very much like the bigger version, Ticket to Ride or Ticket to Ride Europe, but just in a smaller, compact box with a smaller board. So you have your 2 tickets. Now these 2 tickets you have to keep one. So you can choose whether to keep both or just to go for one. I always kind of think just because, there's my dog, excellent. Just because it's a smaller map, might as well go for it, you know. It's not too hard work, is it? So I've got to go from Hyde Park to St Paul's, and from Big Ben, here we go, to the Tower of London over here. It's brilliant when your tickets are pretty much to the same location. That is a fantastic thing when that happens. So these remain secret from your opponent. And then also you have a starting hand of 2 modes of transport. Here we are, the fantastic yellow submarine. Love that. So you have to get the corresponding modes of transport for the locations. So for instance, if I was going from Hyde Park to Buckingham Palace, I'd be set. I've got the yellow submarine. So I can either have a yellow or an orange. Now, when playing a 2-player game, somebody goes on one of these locations, or even one of these grey ones here as well. The grey ones are for any colour, but all of the same of that any colour. When in a 2-player game, when one person has gone across this here, then the other one is blocked off to the other player. So if it's blocked off, then they've got to go around, and of course, everyone only has so many of these very nice little buses, double-decker buses. So on your go, what you do is you can either pick up some more of these cards. Again, these remain secret from your opponent. So you can either do it like this, by picking up 2 cards from what is already out, or you could pick up 2 cards from blind from this pile here, or you pick up one of these. Now this is the wild card, and it counts for any colour card that you'd like. Obviously it's a double-decker bus. And so the beauty is, though, of going blind from the deck here is if this, for instance, was on here, we didn't know. If I pick that up, I could pick another one up, and I've got there 2 cards, one of them being the double-decker bus. Now, at any point, if there are more than, I think it's 3 double-decker buses out in this kind of like stretch here, then all of it is collected in, and another 5 are laid out there. So when you take from here, you replace it straight away, and then you can take again. So 2 from here, unless it's a wild card where you can only take 1, or 2 from here. That's one of your goes. Or what you could do on your go is you can cash in your cards. Let's see, here we go. And place as many as cards that you have of the same colour, one of your locations. So I could place my bus here on that yellow one going to Buckingham Palace, and therefore I'd discard that card. Also on my go is, if I had completed these locations already, I could go over and pick up an additional 2 tickets. Again, I would have to keep at least, I'd have to keep at least 1. Now this can be helpful, and actually it might be really good, because it could be one of your locations has already been done, which is fantastic, and you've already got the route there. But of course, you may be picking up one that is in a different direction, a route that's in a different direction, that you cannot complete. Now, of course, at the end of the game is ushered in when somebody has 2 of these left. A last round is ushered in. Any tickets that you have in your hand that are not completed become negative points. Now, the scoring takes place around the outside of the board with your coloured marker, little Union Jack circle there. Whenever you place down a piece on the board or a set, it tells you here what you score. So 1, you would get 1 point. For 2, 2 points. For 3, you would get 4 points. And for 4, you would get 7 points. Also, something to note in the London edition of Ticket to Ride that's different from the New York, the other compact or smaller filler Ticket to Ride. London has these coloured locations where there are points. And if you are able to link up all of those routes there, then you will be awarded the 5 points that is on those colours. Here, in this location, it's 2 points. There's a 1 point there. But these additional points can help in winning that game. So that is how you play Ticket to Ride London. Very easy to learn, very easy to teach. And it plays through in about 10 to 15 minutes. Good times.
So then, what did I think? Well, let's start off with the box art. I think this is pretty clever. I like it. It certainly, for me, sums up the London theme. So, we have got somebody here, obviously a Beatle, John Lennon, fact. Definite there. And represented in this box as well. You know, you've got the yellow submarine card. Nice little nod there to our history in the music. Fantastic. This young lady here, she could be the Queen. She's worn things like that. Could be the Queen. Even looks a little bit like the Queen in that smile. Love the Queen. This guy here, bowler hat, obviously classic kind of London look. But also, I think he looks a little bit like the dude from The Avengers, which was a programme here in the, 60s, 70s. Nothing to do with superheroes or anything like that. Nothing to do with Marvel. But I think it looks a little bit like him. So I like the way that from the front cover there, and these people represented, she's just a lady, looking pretty. I like the way that it feels like they're summing up London really, really well through just even the front cover. Good times, well done. Days of Wonder. Excellent. So what else did I think and like about this game? Well, if you like Ticket to Ride, then you're going to like this game. It has all the feel of the big game, obviously not with the big and longevity of the bigger game, but all of that feel in a smaller, compact box. You've got, instead of trains, you've got buses as your components that you're going to be placing down. I really like the small cards. I like the compact feel of it all. As I've already mentioned, you've got the yellow submarines. You've got Milk Float. You've obviously got the black taxi. You've got the red London double-decker bus. iconic as the wild card. So it's colourful. The map itself looks also really colourful, and I like the way that there's different ways to score. Obviously, there's your tickets and stuff like that, but then there's also the boroughs. If you hit all of the certain coloured routes for the boroughs, you also get those points. Yeah, so what I like is the fact that it plays through in about 10 minutes. So sometimes life is busy and it's difficult to get games to the table. I find it difficult. I've got lots of other games to play and stuff like that. And my wife, who likes Ticket to Ride, sometimes just hasn't got time to play the bigger game. So what happens is, with this game, is all that fun of the Ticket to Ride, but playing in about 10, 15 minutes. Fantastic. So component quality is, well, good. You've got your little plastic buses as your things to lay down. The card stock is good thickness and the artwork is brilliant. I even like the little attention to detail with the rules. So the rules isn't like a rule book, but it's like a little leaflet. Maybe something that you would pick up whilst being a tourist in London. Just the little things, the little attention to detail. Like I said with the box art, I just think that's really fun, really good. So if you are looking for a Ticket to Ride feel game, but haven't got loads of time, want it to be more of a filler game, look no further than Ticket to Ride London or Ticket to Ride New York. Both of them are fun little filler games that deliver that Days of Wonder Ticket to Ride feel. Smaller box, quicker game, brilliant price. Check out Zatu Games and get involved.